internet. That's right, baby. We're going. Look at this. Look at this beautiful scene we have here.
Is that like
Broad Street with the flag and the book Inner Excellence and the exciting White's wine sign and the beautiful Michael Barkann in the corner, because, ladies and gentlemen, it's not a rumor. It's true. He's actually here. Michael Barkann. There he is. Give it up for Michael Barkann, ladies and gentlemen.
There he is.
With the city pigeons, man.
Hey, let's go.
Son of a gun.
He's been looking forward to it all week.
Same here.
Yeah,
I've been looking forward to it for 2 years.
This is true. This is true. Now, there is some synchronicity, right?
Yeah.
Is that the word? I'm trying to make sure I've got it.
To, what was the Genesis? Synchronicity.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. Good knowledge. Okay, so 2 years ago, when the Birds were in the Super Bowl and the City Pigeons was just kind of getting going, you were kind enough to join us, and we had an episode down in Manayunk. Had a great time. And that was right in the 2-week gap between the NFC Championship and the Super Bowl. So I told Michael, if we made it again, we got to run it back. Now, some people might think that's like, maybe bad juju, right?
We don't do juju.
Yeah,
we create our own juju.
Around here. Who, by the way, is still on their team. That guy talked all that shit out.
So,
we owe him one.
Freaking guy.
I just thought about that.
We do
owe him one.
We sure do owe him one.
All right, so we're Thursday here, right? Thursday in the 2 weeks. And before I get going further, and you met everybody, I want to make sure you know, we got Meech over here.
Yeah,
my man. So we got Meech.
Great
right?
to see you. Thanks for the pizza, man.
Yeah, over here in the Good Heart Bar, we've got Eric Fink, Roger Matthews, and Tom Henneman.
Mike, you took my seat, man.
I'm sorry, Rock.
God damn it.
Wait. Roger Rocker, man.
Yeah, man.
You got to stay with that.
It's all right. I'll let you have it for tonight.
Roger Rocker.
If you come back next time, you're sitting bitch right here.
This will be my last appearance.
By the way, I did just call you Roger Matthews, which is strange. I don't think anyone's ever done that.
It's all good.
My bad.
Double R. Just call me Double R.
All right, my bad. So anyway, Thursday in week 1, and we've gotten accustomed to this, right? This is 3 Super Bowls in how many years, guys? Somebody
4
years?
Yeah.
No, it's 3, right? You got me confused.
I can't count.
It's 2 and 3 years.
2 and 3 years, 3 and 7, something like that. So we're kind of getting used to it. And this time, for some reason, it feels like extra long, but it's Thursday. So we're almost through the first week. And I'm feeling like this is a perfect opportunity to really start the lock-in phase for me. Yeah. You know what I mean? Right tonight. It just means like I've been looking at what happened in the game. I've been reveling in everything that happened in the game. And now I got to start to kind of really start to lock in on the game that's going to come. But I think tonight we should definitely take a look back a little bit, because that was a major moment in Philly sports history that we all experienced.
Before Jess gets too locked in, we have to take a look back.
I can't get too locked in.
I got you.
I actually was sitting on the couch the other day, and I think it was like Tuesday, and Post Game Live was like, playing again. So I was watching it, and I was watching you guys talking about all the celebrations. And I think one of the coolest things about what you do, and I wanted to hear your opinion on it, but watching the players come out from the game and seeing, especially on a night like that, seems like such a cool moment when you're in the studio. Kind of like, what's it like to like live that moment from like the studio?
Yeah. It's an awesome thing to see that emotion and to see these guys fresh off the field, knowing that they're going to the Super Bowl, and the joy that comes with it. Not just the joy for the players, but the joy for all of us watching this thing.
Exactly.
It's really what we dream of. And I always say, I'm all for the arts and education and all that, but what sports does for a city, especially a city like Philadelphia, is untold. That's how great it is. And all you had to do was look down Broad Street. And initially, I'm like, that's not really that many people. And then by the end of the show,
you get the overhead shot.
Oh my gosh, it was absolutely, it was incredible.
It was like a parade.
It was incredible. Also, so that is really special. But the other thing is, when your team is a Super Bowl team in a major market like Philadelphia, you start like there's just stuff that starts to happen and goes on. You get celebrities come in. All of a sudden, people that were born and raised here that maybe you didn't know about, they get a little more
Gilly
connected.
Kids.
Yes,
Gilly the Kids.
Gilly the Kid. Who knew Gilly the Kid?
Gilly,
come here. Okay.
He brought forth the anthem this year. Like, he's the dreams and nightmares of this year with Blow the Whistle, a Too Short song from like 2003.
Yeah,
like who knew?
I was thinking about this the other day, and it's really cool the way in Philly, like and we talked about this a little bit last week. We were hoping that the Eagles would make the Super Bowl because we knew all sorts of cool things would come of it. We already have a couple here with the phenomenon that is, inner excellence and, the exciting whites thing that I referenced. We always have all these little funny things that happen. And I was thinking about it. We always have a song now. It's like with the Phillies, we obviously had I can't remember. Come on.
Dancing on my own.
Dancing on my own. We had Dreams and Nightmares.
Dancing on the ceiling.
I was actually thinking about this though. When we went a couple years ago, we didn't really have.
We had the Little Uzi Vert. I just want to rock.
Okay.
Yeah, he let us out.
Good knowledge. Lil Uzi let us out.
That's probably why we lost.
Which is a shame because that's a banger, though. What do you mean? That song goes hard. That song goes hard.
All right.
Yeah, well, that's good.
Well, I mean, Gilly the Kid, truth be told, I don't think the guy should be running out with the team. I'm surprised that the NFL hasn't kind of gotten involved. Like, are you kidding me? You got some podcaster, I know he's got about 5 million followers, and he's running out on the field before the NFC Championship
that's real
game?
Philly shit,
Get him
though.
back.
But that's real Philly
Wait,
shit.
you don't think he should be coming out with the team?
Sorry?
You said you don't think he should be coming out with the
I
team?
don't think he should become who? Kevin Hart, maybe. Bradley Cooper, maybe.
What?
Gilly the Kid?
See, I feel like those guys are a little too highbrow. Like, Gilly is like true Philly street guy. You probably don't know his. I mean, I don't want to.
No, go ahead. Talk down to me. Go ahead.
Gilly is like true Philadelphia, old school street legend rapper from back in like
How long?
early
For how long?
like early 2000s, maybe. Like I don't like. Would you run across the border, mama? Nah, you don't know that one.
No.
All right,
so I'm gonna play it as soon as I get
So Gilly is like a Philadelphia street legend, and you can see like the true fandom in him, right?
Mm-hmm.
You can see the excitement, the like. He's like he embraces all Philadelphia. He's like one of us. Like, if we were down in that situation, we'd be down there getting obliterated, doing all those things. What?
I'm talking to him. I'm talking to Fink. My bad.
We'd be doing all the things that he's doing down there. So like when we see him, we feel him. Like we know he's like the perfect like mascot for the Philadelphia.
How you can tell he's perfect for them is
Pulse.
when he goes into the locker room after the game and interacts with these guys. Like they look up to him as like. I mean,
stunning.
Okay, Michael.
It's
let me try to.
Like he's a father figure.
I'm so freaking old. Yeah,
like
it's all right. Listen, I'm old too.
Listen, I don't think
but
anybody.
Gilly's like our age.
I don't think anybody. Listen, I don't think anybody would take this the wrong way when I say that Gilly is kind of like he's almost the Dave Portnoy of the Black community. Like he has like. Well,
you're speaking for
am I going? Is that terrible?
That's not even a good like comparison.
What's the analogy? What's a good analogy?
Hold on, hear me out.
Right.
My point is, those guys have like really blown up like online media, in a way that like really resonates with people who are like hip hop fans, who are fans of like urban culture, generally speaking, in a way that nobody has before. Just like Dave Portnoy took like went mainstream with doing stuff online. See this, no matter what I say.
No. You're on a good path.
Did you see Gilly's bringing the broom guy to?
Yeah. You got that broom guy. You got the little eagle guy. But no, I hear what you're saying, Jess. Like, he's not the first person to do it in the Black community, but he's like the first Philadelphian that like really blew it up. You know what I mean? So he's like kind of he puts the Philadelphia.
Sure,
he's also like he gets a MVP at every celebrity basketball tournament. He's
a good ball. He can ball.
He can ball. He's like people respect him for his podcast, for his rapping. He used to. Michael. I know you know who Lil Wayne is.
Yeah.
Gil used to ghostwrite for Lil Wayne back when he used to put out all those hits. Gilly would write those songs for him.
Right.
Like that was how big he was.
Where does he live?
Probably Jersey.
Yeah.
Jersey? Yeah. NEW Jersey?
Yeah. But he grew up in North. Like Gilly is an OG. That's just put it like that. He's a Philadelphia OG.
If you have one of those little roadsters with the Eagles logos on it, and you park it in your street and do that blow the whistle song in your South Jersey neighborhood, then you're Philadelphia.
Put it like this, right? When you think about like Eagles fans, right, and not to keep going on this racial thing, but like, there's a lot of white people, right? But there's also a lot of Black Eagles fans all throughout Philadelphia, all throughout America, right? And Gilly is like, he like represents the Black Eagles fan. You know what I'm saying?
He's the touchstone. He's there.
Yeah, he brings us into the whole vibe, man.
That's
He's
what I was. That's what I was trying to say, but
He brings
couldn't
a vibe
say
that
because
we're
I'm just
incapable
a
of bringing.
standard white
Anyway,
guy.
And I think-
anyway, but he, every black, white, Asian, whatever, everyone loves Gilly. Bottom line,
Got
yeah,
it.
it's
Okay.
it's
you should love
hard.
him too. And like
You
when they
love-
bring him out, I love seeing it. Like I love seeing the energy and like.
Wait, did you see him last week though? He came out, he ran, and then he like fell to the ground and did the army crawl.
Yeah, he
I
did
mean,
the-
he's such a character.
He
like
thinks he's
I'm
Brian
there for
Dawkins.
it.
Like
That's
he
Dawkins.
did the dog.
I thought
man.
Fletcher Cox.
Anyway,
I just think when you look back on these Super Bowl experiences, that's kind of part of the cool stuff that goes
Yeah,
along.
exactly.
With it. Like you need these kind of
100.
little storylines that essentially mean nothing, but it's just cool to he brings people into this.
Right. And people like across the country are looking at this and be like, man, Philly is crazy. Gilly the King is freaking leading them out of the tunnel. And like he's hugging Howie Roseman, like, and people like only in Philly. And that's what makes it cool is that like every time we make a run, we have stuff like this that just happens. And to me, the coolest thing is all organic.
Yeah.
Like nobody is like, we should go. If you look at other markets and other teams, they're trying to figure out how to do stuff. I don't know if you guys saw any like the Commanders hype videos and all that. Like they just don't have anything.
they're lame.
They have nothing to tap into like this.
And like the Kansas City Chiefs, they have to connect with is that guy who dressed up as a
Bank
badger and robbed banks in order to fund his season tickets. Like they don't have any cool celebrity fans or any viral thing that's well, actually Taylor Swift. Holy shit!
Yeah,
How did I
Taylor
forget
Swift.
that?
Traitor.
Who is that?
But,
You
but-
kidding me?
Taylor
yeah.
Swift is
Forget
an
her.
Eagles
That's
fan,
like
dude.
that's like
Taylor
on another
Swift
level.
was an Eagles fan, so let's not forget her roots.
Traitor.
Well,
I hear
yeah,
you.
Has she forgotten her roots?
I think she has.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But back to Gilly one last time. My only thing with Gilly is if you're watching, and you brought it up, Jess, if you're watching from another market, if you're
Yeah.
watching in Kansas City, LA, Minneapolis, Dallas, Miami, you're saying, who the hell is that
Right.
guy?
Yeah.
I don't care if he's got millions
It's
of
real
followers.
Philly.
I'm
I
gonna
don't
tell
know
you-
who the hell he is.
I'll tell you this,
Okay,
Mark.
if it's Bradley Cooper, if it's Kevin Hart, if it's Will Smith, dare I say.
I'll tell you this, Mike.
know.
The streets know. The streets know.
The streets of America or
The streets of
Philadelphia?
America know. The streets know.
Okay. Hey, I follow him. I think he's funny. I think he's super smart. I follow him.
Yeah.
But
And you're not going to see Will Smith, Kevin Hart, Bradley Cooper. They're too like concerned about their brand. They're not going to come out there and act a fool.
Kevin
like
Hart
Gilly
was
does.
at the championship
Yeah,
game
yeah,
the other day.
yeah.
He was at the Super
no,
Bowl
they're not gonna-
when they
there.
won, trying to sneak on
Yeah,
half drunk.
But they're
onto
not
the
going to
thing.
act a fool like Gilly does, and he's like authentic, and that's what we want to see. That's what we want to feel. That's why he's out there, and that's why we love him.
now Wallow's a different story.
Wallow's a fraud.
Now, Wallow's are they cousins?
Yeah,
Okay.
I think so.
Yeah.
I didn't know
All right.
that.
How about that? How
I
about-
think
oh,
he switches
how
up
about the
teams every
knowledge from the hood?
2 months.
Thank you. Okay.
No one doubts your street cred, Michael. Okay.
Well, I doubt it, but go ahead.
You've been at this for a long time. Well, I got to imagine that your experience after the game, you've done this now a number of times, right? With after Minnesota, being in Minnesota after they won, after they lost, you've done Phillies. I mean, you've done so many like these pivotal moments, and I'm sure it never gets old. But I'm sure our experience was a little different, right? Because we were hitting the subway immediately and going to Broad Street. I think it's kind of funny. A couple of years ago, I remember. Or maybe it was this was when we made it to the World Series. Weren't other markets trying to call us out for going into the streets when we hadn't won an actual championship? Hasn't that happened before?
Yeah.
Yes.
They did
That
that.
was
has
going
happened.
into
The
the
one-
Houston
The
series.
one
Because-
New York fan, Giants.
Okay.
Because
Because this time it just felt so, and maybe it was because of the way we won the game. Like nobody was saying anything like that, right? Like, and I think people generally were looking at Philly and thinking that looks so awesome. The fact that we all came together on the streets, but yeah, we all were heading down there and had some good times. And I wanted to just recap a little of that because guys, we haven't gotten together since the game. Obviously, the game was electric. I can't believe we scored 8 touchdowns. That's unbelievable. Still feel like I'm recovering a little bit, but you guys were down in the mix too.
You know what?
right?
I was one of those people that would. I don't know if you guys remember, but the last podcast, I was like, we don't need to go celebrate if we win this game. Just act like you've been there before. But as soon as I was down in the mix, I had a little bit of celebration going on.
How many Kenwoods did that take to change your mood?
maybe 2. I
And
don't
listen, I admit it. I was scared as shit of the Washington game.
Oh, yeah,
I don't know.
Come on,
Listen,
do it.
even the tailgate before, people would be like, "Yo, Mike, how you feel about the game?" And they'd be all hype. I'd be like, "I don't feel great. I just didn't feel well about it for some reason." I was like, the only thing that we have in our back pocket is we have Saquon Barkley now. And then, don't you know, they went there. Washington took up like 4, 5, 6 minutes, got a field goal, looked pretty good in their first drive, like they were solidifying something. First goddamn toss out the Saquon takes it to the head. I mean, it was just like so poetic. It was so awesome. He's the difference this year. Well, not the only difference, but he's the main difference this year. I mean, he's unbelievable.
Well, it's funny. You just said
Can't
you were
say
telling
enough.
people like, well, we have Saquon. For me, I was like, we have Saquon. Like, that's why we're going to win this game. Like, it all starts for the other team now with them having to stop him. And you think about it, even if you look at the Super Bowl a couple years ago, where we had Miles Sanders, who was like, you know, wasn't half bad. It was okay, but like you didn't have to game plan to take away Miles Sanders.
No,
Right.
and he wasn't a big game back that was like going to shine in the spotlight.
I was surprised that on that run, to me, that was his second greatest run of the season. Obviously,
Besides the hurdle one,
the back hurdle was one, but two,
I agree.
He's going full speed. He gets spun around
like a video
360,
game,
and he just keeps going full speed.
That's hitting the
That's
O button.
unbelievable what he did. So he's a special talent, and you cannot give enough credit to the offensive line. They lead the NFL in yards for the running back before he gets touched. So Saquon's doing a hell of a lot on his own, but the head start he gets is from that offensive line.
You know what?
They
I was
can't
watching.
be touched.
I know Mike Francesa is an old school guy, but I still watch his clips on YouTube. And they asked him about the Giants letting Saquon go, and he was like, you know what? If he was on the Giants, he wouldn't have this kind of season. He would get hit 15 yards behind the line by 3 guys. When he's on the Eagles, they have the skill in the offensive line to where sometimes he doesn't get touched till 20 yards down the field. I mean, and then when those guys try and touch him, the safety, the cornerback, whoever the hell's the linebacker they sent back there, nobody's taking him down. It's a different game with Saquon.
Yeah, it's a beautiful combination. Like when you got this kind of offensive line, like where you're not getting touched until you're 4 yards down the field, then that dude, he's probably, and I'm going to say this, he's probably the most skilled running back that's been in the league since Adrian Peterson, I believe. Right? You watched him when he was at Penn State, he broke all those records or whatever. But I don't like this dude is, I think, the most talented running back since Adrian Peterson. And when you combine that with probably the best offensive line league, it's just a recipe for success every time. Yeah. And you got to keep feeding it and keep feeding it and keep feeding it.
He only had 15 carries.
Yeah, the dude is unbelievable,
15 carries,
man.
3 touchdowns.
It's also, it doesn't look like he's been banged. I know he's been banged up, but it doesn't look like he's any worse for the wear.
No.
Unbelievable.
And that's a large part because of the line.
Yep.
They spring him so far down the field that it's amazing. The other credit is, and I know he's been getting credit all season long, but Howie Roseman in assembling this team, the most important part of a franchise in any sport, in my opinion, is Howie Roseman's position. You got to know the talent.
Right.
You got to know the players. You got to be able to get a Jordan Mailata as far down. That guy is a first-round pick.
It's a brilliant,
unbelievable.
He's a rugby player.
Right.
I mean, it not only takes balls to make that pick, but it takes like an intuition. Like I think if we get Stoutland, I'm sure. If it was another offensive line coach, he may not have been even close to this. Stoutland's a goddamn genius. He really is. I don't
love
know
that
how
Mailata says
shots are
when they
being
do the
fired.
introductions. He's
Hold
like,
up. You got to run those back. Shots are being fired at Meach in the chat. Dev says Meach has never felt positive about a Philly sports team a day in his life. Meach, I know that's paint with the
That's
broad
not how
brush.
I know me.
That's paint with a broad brush.
It's kind of like the
Look at
most
this. Look at this.
confident.
Look at Goodhart. Goodhart says, when is the last game Meach felt confident about a big game? He ran away from me during the NLCS.
Game 7 of the World Series.
Here's the last game I felt
I was there.
confident
I have
about.
the video to prove
What was the Super Bowl in 2018 versus the Patriots? I knew we were going to win that game. That's the last game I truly felt so confident about until this Kansas City Chiefs game.
Now?
I'm so like, there's no doubt in my mind we're winning this game, and it's like I saw the over under is like 48.5.
Yeah.
I'm like, that might be covered by the fucking Eagles.
Yeah.
And I know we'll probably get into our predictions next week and get into more analyzing the game.
Don't let it slip.
But in my opinion, the Chiefs can't fuck with us this year. Like the weak spots we had in the Super Bowl 2 years ago are now our strengths. Like I don't know where Mahomes can't run anymore. He can't.
Before you go any further,
us.
there's a portion of this show where I do want to start to get into some of that. but I'm not done really taking a look back at all of the
We're
joyous
still in the
moments we
first
had.
week.
Yeah,
following the
let
championship game.
us
This is just starting to lock in. Come on,
Guys,
I'm getting ahead of
said,
myself.
If you
I'm
notice,
getting ahead of but I'm
look,
just telling you where I'm going,
We're-
and my thought isn't going to change over the. It's going to get even better over the next.
we're
week.
supposed to revel. It says
Mhm.
reveling in another bird Super Bowl
Exactly.
berth. We
Yes.
need to revel. Do you
Yes.
understand?
Yes.
We're gonna revel. All
We
right.
are
So
reveling.
You know how I revel?
yeah.
How do you revel?
Oh, here we go.
By
Uh-oh.
spending $150 in the Eagles Pro Shop for the Saquon Barkley
Nice.
Super Bowl patch
See
jersey.
this is a nice. I think this is
Like
a cool
this
patch.
is going to
man.
be
Let
the
me see.
most legendary jersey.
You know, it's got like the New Orleans kind of
Man,
vibe
this
on
feels
it.
confident.
I like
This
it.
is going to be like if you're from Denver and you have a Terrell Davis Super Bowl patch jersey from '97.
Would
Like
you
thi-
have liked to see them in the Kelly Greens for the Super Bowl?
No, I wouldn't. I'm like, I love the Kelly Greens and that they went back to it, but I still don't think the jersey they went back to is the official. Like I like the outline on the numbers, not
Yeah.
just the plain white. I like the black outline.
Yeah.
I don't think they went back to the official like '87 Kelly Green jersey,
With
which is
Randall
cool.
War.
But in the Super Bowl, I'm a midnight green guy. I got used to it. I love the midnight green. And I'm glad they wore it in 17 2 years ago, and they'll wear it again this year. No, I'm cool. But I did read that you can't wear an alternate jersey in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, which is so corny,
Yeah.
man.
It might be
You should
corny,
be
but
able to.
I want to wear.
it's
I
just
want
it
to wear the
means you
black.
can't do it. So I mean, there's
Especially if it's an alternative jersey that used to be your main jersey.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, that's a good point.
So,
yeah, we should.
I
have
was
that.
watching some. I'm sorry, you wanted
No,
to
you
go
go.
over the week.
Go ahead.
I was watching. It was your backyard, Franklin Field. It was on. I guess it was maybe on TikTok, and it was clips from the 1960 championship game. It was unbelievable.
My
It was
dad
so
snuck
cool.
into that game.
Yeah, my wife's dad. That game was not on TV. And my wife's dad checked into the hospital at the University of Pennsylvania.
So she
Feigned
could
illness
overlook
to
it?
look, yeah, because
Yeah.
yeah, absolutely.
Which ain't bullshit because my son was born at University of Pennsylvania. We could look straight down into the
Franklin
Yeah.
Field.
Not
Oh,
on TV, and now it's going to cost you what, $5,000-$6,000 to go to the Super Bowl.
7,500 if you want 50-yard line seats.
Hold on.
Face
Have
value. Face
face.
value.
Hold on, Big
Oh.
Mike. What are you doing on TikTok, bro?
TikTok, are you kidding me? How do you think I found out about Gilly? Come on, willy nilly.
I'm just curious.
You got it.
Gosh,
I'm
this
on
is good.
TikTok.
Beautiful.
I'm
You're
not
all
on
over the
Snapchat
place.
anymore.
Yeah.
now here's
Is Snapchat still around?
I don't know, man. I'm not on TikTok or
You're not
Snapchat.
on TikTok?
Nah, man.
Oh,
I'm
you're
here's
missing out.
something I thought
I'm
of.
old,
that
man.
I don't know if it matters in any capacity, but it might matter in paying free agents in the future. Have the Eagles made more in the playoffs between ticket sales, concessions than they did the entire regular season?
no.
Because if you remember, they missed one home game because of Brazil.
There's
So
no
it cuts
way.
the games down
No.
to 5 instead of or
It's not
7
how
instead of
finance
8.
works. Take it from
I
a
think
finance
they
guy. It's not how
probably
it
made
works,
more
dude.
in that stadium in the past 3 weeks than they did the entire regular. I mean, ticket prices face value are like 10 times as much as the regular season, right?
Yeah. There are a lot more.
Now,
I
like
don't think they
what
made as much.
percentage of that do they say? We'll dedicate to making the stadium better. To
Nothing.
because I think Lincoln Financial could really use some upgrades. It's kind
Bring
of
the
a
pockets.
It's going
All right.
to
Well, the
Boston
reports
Celtics.
are that Jeffrey wants a new stadium.
yeah.
going
He
to
wants
a
a dome
stadium.
to get the Super Bowl.
Yeah, which would
So
be great.
let's take this. This is what I'm getting at.
Mhm.
Let's take this money, upgrade the stadium to where maybe in like 10 years we can have a home Super Bowl. You know what I mean?
That'd
Nah.
be amazing.
I want
They'll never
outdoor.
do that again.
I want
Yeah,
outdoor,
outdoor,
too,
come
like
on. Top
Buffalo's doing.
Let's be.
What do you mean outdoor? Like this week in this? It's Super Bowl's in New Orleans. It's indoor.
No, I'm
Yeah.
saying I want our stadium to be outdoors.
Yeah.
I don't care about the Super Bowl. Don't put a freaking retractable roof over my stadium. I think that makes sense.
Yeah,
Wait,
tell
but
him, tell him.
even
Let
though
him
it would
know.
still be outside on days when it's nice, but it would be covered when it was
No,
inclement.
I know
I
Michael.
love it to be inclement.
I know Michael Barkann. Remember this? You remember that weirdo billionaire who went around in like the 90s
Shad Khan? No,
and
sorry.
tried to build a dome. He called it like the Star Stadium, and he tried to build it in like 7 different cities. but it was on the front page of the Daily News. It is this weirdo trying to build a dome stadium in Philadelphia with his own money.
This is the Meach moment no one remembers.
No,
right here.
I think this might be a fever dream.
Who was the
Yeah,
guy?
seriously.
Josh Harris? Was it Josh
No,
Harris?
Made that story up in your own
He
mind,
was really
Meach.
old, and it was just
Norman Brayman?
No, he pitched the same idea to like 7 different cities, and they were like, "Yo, cuckoo head, get out of here, man! And nobody's listening to you."
Like
Jess, we reveling? Jess.
Like
All
the
right.
robot.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
We're
Jess,
back live.
I wanted
Sorry.
to, again, one of the great things about all this, in the midst of all of this celebration, you get some iconic moments. And we had some of our own photojournalists out there.
Mhm.
And Fink, I think you really nailed this, man. So let's take a look at some of Fink's pictures from Broad Street. Look at this.
That one got
Look at
like
this.
a couple thousand
Went heavy
Twitter.
vi on that.
You
Yeah,
got
that
you what?
one. He went
Heavy
half
vi.
vi with
Nice.
that.
What's
You took that yourself?
Heavy
What?
Vi?
Heavy vi, heavy
Heavy
viral.
Vi.
Viral.
Oh, honestly,
Come
I had
on, man.
I had no idea what that meant.
I
If you were on
did take
TikTok, you
Took that
know.
myself on my iPhone.
That is a
Heavy-
beautiful
heavy
picture.
vibe?
Look at that. And
Wow.
then just real quick, look at these guys. Look at these guys right in the middle, just in case there was any doubt. You know what I mean? They're right in the middle.
Had to prove it.
We were a couple blocks down. We couldn't get over there. There was like a blockade. I don't know what was going on. But then we have he caught a couple other beautiful moments, and this isn't coming up as clear as you can see it. But there was a guy out here who was selling White Claws, right?
Yeah, white Claws with a Venmo.
And that's
QR
brilliant.
code.
That's
Great
brilliant. I mean,
Or you could have
Smart.
been like the group of young ladies who walked by us and stole our cooler off of
Yeah.
us.
Wait, they stole your cooler?
We
Just
had it on
stole
the
it.
ground as we were just grabbing beers out of it. We were like, celebrating someone, and they just walked by and just took our whole cooler.
Mm.
Were you at the game?
No, we were all down there on Broad Street.
Got it. Got it.
You just let them walk away with your cooler?
I didn't know about it.
all right,
That's
look.
phenomenal.
We didn't catch them and say, "Okay, have fun with it. Bye bye."
So I was down at the game with a large group of people, some of which are in this room.
Yeah, like 60,000 other people.
Those guys too. They were all there. And as you can imagine, the subway scene after the game was particularly interesting. And we were really jammed in there. And my buddy Trevor, he made a new friend on the subway, and I thought everyone would like to.
Jared.
check it.
going home.
Trevor's weight.
Gotta raise me up. They're gonna learn it anyway. That's what I like calling down my brother.
Jason
Falling
Trevor's
asleep.
back.
He was wiping his nose,
Yeah.
Yeah,
man.
he might have.
You kidding me? That's what he was
Might
He was
have.
trying to get the smell
Yeah,
of
did
the
you get that?
stadium.
Did you get
Yeah.
that clear through that guy, man? I hope that guy doesn't lose his job
Oh
for
my
that.
God.
No, he's not going to lose his job.
There
for
was
that.
absolutely nothing wrong with that.
Trevor got home
Nothing.
like, what's on my jersey? you kidding me?
So we ended up having an interesting night, and we ended up we were walking down Broad Street somewhere South Broad, probably around who was with me? Rod, you with me? How
Yeah,
far
I was
did
with
we
you.
get? No, you weren't there. No,
We
you
got
weren't there.
to about Broad and
Fitzwater?
Wash, and then we walked up to about
But there was a blockade. Remember?
Fitzwater.
They made us go down.
Yeah,
they made us
I think we
go.
got to about Fitzwater.
Yeah. So we
Yeah.
went down like 13th Street, and then somebody came up with the idea we should go to Moriarty's.
That was,
So we ended up Moriarty's, right? We got a
Great
table.
wings, great
We're
wings.
having wings, and I had to ask people this
Crush
because
those
at
wings.
Moriarty's they served like the full wing. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
And I wanted to real quick get everybody's take on this because you
I don't
gotta
like it.
you gotta rip it
Yeah.
apart.
I'm not a fan of the
no.
whole
Me
wing.
Okay.
either.
I thought I was gonna get crushed for that take because for me, I have no interest in ripping the whole thing apart.
Right.
And it's sometimes it's not a clean break.
It's
and-
like you might as well give me pick and peel shrimp
Oh
at that
my
point. Like it's too much work.
No, and not the vein.
right?
Right.
Right.
All right, hold on.
With sauce. Like, come on.
You got something to say about this?
Yeah, what are you crying about?
I
Like, just
feel
eat
you,
the
Fink.
freaking wing.
Yeah,
how does
might get too messy.
You take it, you break
how
it
does
apart.
Fink
it ain't
serve
that hard.
wings?
What?
How does Fink sell their wings? I just want to know.
We have nice jumbo party wings.
Yeah.
Are they connected together?
Yeah.
All
All
there's-
wings are connected.
There's nothing
together.
wrong with the connection, man. It's the,
Yeah, like come on.
But some
flat and the
people
drum is
allege
both
that there's
there.
more flavor because of that. Now I don't know
Exactly.
the answer to this.
It also
I mean,
can
it's
create
this.
more cooking
Okay,
issues
real quick though.
and not being cooked properly.
Okay.
That's my biggest point. Moriarty's does a good job, but if you don't cook it properly, which most places do not,
Food,
then you're gonna have a problem.
that's good. And Tom knows.
That's what Tom's
Tom
here
knows
for.
that stuff.
Okay, Tom and everyone else, real quick. What is it? Drumstick or
Flat.
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 all,
Not only that,
it's all the flat.
drumstick, baby.
drumstick? No way.
I like to clean my teeth with.
See,
Let's go,
yeah.
Keith.
I'm used to not used to, but I prefer the drumstick just because I mainly eat wings with my oldest son, and he likes the flats. So
Aw.
it's like a
That's
trade-off.
cute.
You're
Like
such a
you
good dad.
take
Look
the
at you.
flats, I'll take the drums. It's like I'm the DJ, he's the rapper,
I wish my
like
dad
Fresh
was
Prince
around to
and,
share
and
wings
DJ
with me.
Jazzy Jeff.
I like just taking it and just, you know,
Yeah,
Put
but
it-
here's the thing, and this is to Fink's point. One, I don't like my hands getting freaking messy. You understand me? So I only eat wings with one hand, so that way I got another hand. The other hand's clean. If I,
yeah,
you know what I mean? I'm good
you
to
can
go.
drink.
Right,
You
can
can
drink,
smack
right.
the waiter.
And
Yeah.
I dip them in the blue cheese. Got to have the blue cheese.
Yes,
Got to be
yes.
hot. And then with flats, unlike with a drumstick, one shot, boom,
Yes.
it's all gone.
Well,
And it's,
look,
it's
hold
delish.
on. If we're gonna get into this, not all flats are created equal. When they're
You're
cooked
right.
like a little dry, you can't do that move, and then the bone breaks. Oh gosh,
Oh,
that's
yeah.
the worst thing that ever.
And
the
then your
bone
hands
breaks.
get messed.
Come
I'm just
on.
kidding.
Yeah.
I don't like getting my hand messy if I don't need to. Think, you know what I mean? Be frank.
Anybody into that little
Be honest.
weird piece, the actual wing on the full wing? You know, a little weird.
No.
So are we going to talk about the?
I'm just kidding. Sorry.
What were you gonna say, Fink?
I thought we were going to talk about Broad Street and what we were
Reveling.
talking about.
We were.
Reveling.
We were.
Let
So,
it rip.
so
He
we
almost
actually
dropped that.
we ended up having an interesting night because we were at Moriarty's, and then Connor texted me that they were at the birthday bar down in South Philly, and I was like, all right, we got to go down to the birthday bar. So we ended up getting an Uber, and I didn't have time to put the video up, my bad, but we got this Uber that has like eagles on the top, and like, you know, we had this guy driving, he had like a horn. I mean, he had a horn, he was blowing out the window.
Was he
It
blowing
was
a
it
horn?
was the ultimate vibe.
Was he blowing a whistle?
No, he was not blowing the whistle. He was not blowing the whistle. But
All right.
and then we went to the birthday bar, and Connor was there with Bo Allen and Chris Long, which was obviously super cool being with those guys. And actually, Chris later ended up talking. I don't know if anyone saw his podcast, but he was talking about how he was at the birthday bar and he was texting Rich Eisen that he was shit faced.
Yeah.
So we were there with him, and I wish I could have fully enjoyed the moment.
Did
'cause
he get
I was
kicked out
talking to
for
him, but I
trying to
don't
light a heater?
recall. You know, it
Late
wasn't-
Sunday night, I also texted Rich Eisen that I was shit faced. He had no idea. Like,
Did
So-
you text him?
I'm always texting Rich, telling him I'm shit faced.
Come on, Rich.
Be like Tuesday afternoon. Hey, Rich, shit faced again, buddy.
So here's the thing. I woke up the next day and was like, oh my gosh, I want to do all of that over again. Right. And now here's the thing. We're not going to be able to do the NFC Championship game in Philly again. Right. We got the Super Bowl, and some people will go, some people won't. But we will hypothetically get to do what we did on Broad Street times, 100. Right.
Well,
so
here's a little surprise I was going to save for everybody, but I want to tell you right now.
okay.
I bought a little block. I got a great deal on a
Uh-oh.
block of Super Bowl tickets and a trip out there for the City Pigeons crew from Don Tollefson.
Good guy.
Dude, we're in there, bro. We got
Let's go.
He's a personal friend of mine.
first class seats, and it was only like 200 a person. I swear to God.
Beautiful.
So
Let's
we're
go.
all in.
I got scared for a second. I thought that was great. This guy's amazing. And Tolly's setting it up for you.
Tolly's setting it up.
Let's switch live now down
All
to
right.
Spectrum. Peter Zezel, personal friend of mine.
Let's go. We're going. I
Shout
think,
out Tolly.
our boy Mark isn't here. He's ashamed that he had to miss this. Mark Goodhart, who I don't believe
He's watching, right?
You've met Mark before.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember when, but he's not here. But I think he might be going. He might be the only person who's going. As of right now, I'm staying in town. I'm soaking in the Philly vibes.
Same here.
We're gonna do it up for our friends and family here at the Coop. What do you think of the Coop, by the way?
I think it's absolutely awesome.
Yeah, you like
I
it?
mean, you get Todd Glass in here to sell out the whole
Yep.
place. That's pretty special.
Yeah. Well, shout out to Next in Line Comedy. We had
Next
nothing
in
to do
line
with that.
comedy,
Yeah.
unbelievable.
You know what we
Yeah.
should do is we should do a Barkann event here. You
I
know
would
what
love.
What do you
let's
think
do-
about
yeah,
that?
you mean Healing Hearts?
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Done.
Absolutely.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Yep. We'll
Little
think
Healing
about it.
Hearts Foundation.
Yep. We're going to do that. All right. So every time that we get into this situation where we have the Super Bowl coming up, there are all these kind of little idiosyncratic things that everyone has to kind of contemplate. And one of which, let's just get it out on the table right now. It is the, and this stresses me out, the watching of the Super Bowl and how to do it and where to do it. And so I want to get everyone's take on that. I personally, I understand the people who need to like watch it in a room alone, but I'm definitely more like,
Yeah.
let's get hyped together.
Yeah.
Like I want, if Saquon rips off a 70-yarder, I want like 40 people
Yeah.
screaming at the top of their lungs. That's the way I feel about it. And I'm not so concerned with like people ruining the evening by doing certain things, but I understand the way people feel. Meech, what's your take on this situation?
It's funny you say this. I had this exact conversation with Rock when we were waiting for pizzas about a half hour or 45 minutes ago. I mean, I'm in the mindset where I need to be focused and I need everything to go good and I can't have any distractions and I don't want any weirdos around that don't watch football that are going to somehow bring the vibe down. But in reality, it doesn't fucking matter. So we're going to watch the game here. I'm going to bring my family down here. Now, I usually don't watch the games with my family, not because I don't like my family, but they don't really know that much about football. They don't understand how crazy I get. Yeah, so it's a little off-putting to them. I don't want them to see Daddy in that but they will see Daddy crazy on Super Bowl Sunday.
Daddy just broke a table.
Yeah. Why did Daddy just throw something through
honestly,
the wall?
I hope
Daddy threw up.
I hope for so many reasons they don't see Daddy like we've seen him in here before when things go south. Because let me tell you, this guy, you do not want to be around him. We're gonna have to get you out.
I have
there.
mental issues. I have emotional problems. They're all. I'm self-admitted. I'm a crazy individual.
But your family doesn't know.
But they don't know, and
they think you're normal.
They don't know the extent of it.
Yeah,
they're about to find out.
And I kind of don't want to expose them to it, but eventually they're going to have to find out the real me. So welcome to Super Bowl Licks.
Here we go.
Welcome to getting home to your house and it's empty.
Super Bowl.
There was a great Bill Burr clip from about 15 years ago that I sent the guys in the group chat where he's talking about a Super Bowl party, and he's obviously a Patriots fan because he's in Boston. So I know this was taken during the time where he's like, I don't want these people who don't watch football around me. Like I want to be, I'm a psycho when it comes to this. I need my space. I don't want weirdos who don't care about the game. And I felt it. I felt what he was saying, but at the same time, I know it won't. In the grand scheme of things, it won't affect the outcome of the game. So I'd rather be, I know they're going to win. So I'd rather be around family and maybe they can remember in
If the Eagles were in the Super Bowl, would you feel that way? Like, could you just go to any party and have beers and not even really
care? I would only care about the bets that I've submitted that day.
Now, real quick on that note, do you have a policy on betting on this game? I have not put a bet on one playoff game because I've been in scenarios where as much as I tried, the bet was affecting my ability to enjoy the game. So I just said, I'm not going to do this at all. What's your take on that?
My take is I know the Eagles better than any other team. So if I'm going to bet on anything, it's going to be on an Eagles game.
Right.
I know their offense. I know their defense. I know which guys on the other team to bet. Like I'm locked in during the playoffs. And Eagles
so you're
game.
betting.
And
you sent us a parlay today.
Yeah, I sent a Super Bowl parlay out already. I mean,
okay.
I'm locked in.
Wait, so would you bet against them if you knew you felt they were going to lose?
Here's the thing, Mike.
Last week, did you?
I don't bet teams anymore. I used to bet teams. Now all I do is bet prop bets. Mm-hmm. So I just look at situations. Jalen Hurts, he's going to get this many yards rushing. I don't worry about because it's too worrisome for me, and it's I don't bet teams anymore. I'm not good at it.
Yeah,
I never was.
I like the ones that like more. Which one's going to happen? More Saquon Barkley yards, or more shots by Travis Konechny?
Yeah.
I love those.
Those are always good, fun bets to me.
Yeah.
Now, what's it like for you, Michael? I think everyone's probably pretty interested to hear how you watch the games. I know a little bit about this because back in the day, I remember sometimes experiencing firsthand, and you guys having your Walter Stabe,
the Stabenator
dinners, and all this sort of stuff. But take us inside what it's like.
It's not like it was, man.
Yeah, I know.
It's not like it was.
Yeah,
a little box lunch from McDonald's.
It's not the same.
No, it's not the same. But I watch it at my desk. But Jaws is over across the room, and Barrett's at his desk, and Ruben's watching in the studio. Ruben Frank, and so it's not the same as with Dad and Vaughn and Ray. We would be, or Seth. We'd be at a conference table, and the food would be spread out. We had a big TV up there. It was unbelievable. It was phenomenal.
So you guys are all separate. You're not turned up together, high fiving, slapping asses.
No, well, we're high fiving, like air high five. You know what I mean? Wait, let me get you right here. Okay.
But you are to start like a campaign to bring that back.
Yeah, for real.
I feel like that might be more fun.
You know what? We're gonna send
it's
Fink
great.
down there during the Super Bowl. he'll be like the little guy running around the office, high five and
Bringing the hoagies.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Well, I think you guys might have tried this, but it could be cool to have that going on and have like, a live stream of you guys watching the game and, in a room, like eating food, I guess.
Yeah, that would work.
Would that work?
Beers,
Yeah,
beers.
No, I think it's better,
You know?
like he was saying, like when they're all together, because like
It's way-
I like to watch if I'm watching Super Bowl, like a bunch of like your close friends and stuff. Like it's just like the Super Bowl just means so much, and like being up there on the stage and not being able to.
Yeah, go crazy. We still go crazy.
Yeah,
I'll tell
but-
you what, but
Fink, they're professional journalists.
well, take it easy.
fans.
You kidding me? Take it easy. But what I find is hysterical is that they're different feeds of the game, any game we're watching. Same with the Phillies. And I just found out there's a way to get on my desktop feed of the game, and I see it before anybody else sees it in the room. So I'm like, oh my God! Like, shut up!
Well, you have YouTube TV. You seen that little
No, it's
trick?
not YouTube TV. It's some special thing that we
TikTok.
have.
Yeah, there's a trick
It's
on
TikTok.
no on YouTube TV.
Sketch coming.
If you go
Okay.
into the individual sports games, you can switch no delay, and it makes the games faster by like 15 seconds
On YouTube, you can.
on YouTube TV.
Did you hear that, Jeff?
we need
There-
that in
there's-
there for a Super Bowl.
There's three
Sunday.
little dots when you go down. You scroll all the way to
Yeah.
the left, and you go down, and
Why
and
would
it
you
says
want that?
it says no delay.
Do you remember?
Well, because during the World Series, we live across the street from an outside bar kind of area they had, and they were showing it on the screen, and I could hear them cheering.
The same
way
shit
before
happened
anything
here
happened.
when
Yeah.
Yeah.
during
I started
Arizona.
standing up and
Same
watching through my window outside across the street because like I can't see
You know,
pitches
right.
late. Like you don't know.
I'll do you one
Let's
better.
do
All
it.
right. All right. I'll do you one better. Home games. We're watching the game, and when the touchdown scored, the guns go off, the fireworks go off, and then you see Jalen Hurts over center. He's walking. Guess he scored. But what's really weird is the Eagles are on defense, and then you see the guns go off. You're like, oh, something great must happen.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
man.
no way
Fun
to watch
stuff.
a game. All right. So Fink, you said you're going to be you're going to watch the Super Bowl with your close friends, right?
I think so.
I just wanna make sure.
think we're formulating a plan.
Right. But
Because
I just wanted to be clear though. You said you're going to watch it with your close friends, and we'll be watching it here. And I just wanted to, but I don't.
So
You're not going to
coming
be.
here.
You're going to be here
Don't
though.
even say it, Fink.
I just want to.
Go Birds. You hear that?
There you go.
we're in
Go
a Super
Birds.
Bowl.
Nah.
and,
I'm just busting your balls. All right. So we know you're more of a close friends guy. Can you explain? No.
You're talking to me?
I'm talking to all
Fink.
you guys. I want to get your take on
I'm just
how
trying
you like to watch
look,
it.
Whenever there's a championship scenario, I just want to be. Here's my logic behind it all.
Here we go.
Here we
I just want
go,
to be as
Joe.
close to Broad Street as possible,
Right.
so I can
That's
go
it.
out and
Yep.
turn up afterwards.
Yep.
Turn up.
That's all you need.
Let's
That's
go.
all you
That's
need to know.
nice. I
Hey.
like that.
That's all you need to know.
Yeah, that's it.
Tom, what do you
Hey.
think?
So my plan is, well, yeah, we're gonna watch it here, and then afterwards, I'm just gonna walk home. I'm gonna walk home from here, right up to Broad Street.
That's a great,
all the way down.
great plan. Yeah,
Right?
that's what it's mile and a half probably. Yeah.
You know when did those Princess Diana jackets come back? Like 2 years ago.
2 years
Yeah.
I bought one for my wife, thinking I was doing a sweet thing for her.
I gotta ask you
She
a
doesn't have an
question
Eagles
about that. Go
jacket. She still hasn't worn it. I
Mm.
go, babe, they've gone through 3 weeks of the playoffs where it was like -10 degrees. If you can't wear this jacket one of those weeks, why do we have it? Like, what's the point of you having this jacket?
You know what you
if
do?
you just refuse to
What'd
wear
she
it
say?
during the cold
Yeah.
weather,
What'd you say?
I really didn't go anywhere to where I needed to
Does
wear.
she like it? Does she like the jacket?
She
left the
loves
house, right?
it.
You didn't go
Loves it.
outside.
When she tried it on, she was like, "Oh my god, this is great." Never wore it. I mean, she's not really a sports fan, which is cool. I think I respect that more
I
because
thought you told me she stays up late with you watching NBA games.
no,
I
she
swear you
stays
told
up
me that.
later than me watching NBA. She likes basketball. She's not like a so much a Sixers fan, just as she's a basketball fan.
Buy the Super Bowl patch, sew it onto the jacket.
I'm not sewing
Ooh,
shit.
now
onto
you're cooking,
anything.
Mark
Fink.
that jacket up.
Now
Let's
you're
get
cooking.
it.
See me
Here's
up
the
there?
thing. I would like to start a movement where men can now wear that jacket again. Okay.
Well, see,
Because
Gilly
it
wears
started
it.
with
Well, wait,
Princess
wait a minute.
Diana.
Big-
That jacket is a nice jacket. It wasn't made for women, and women have usurped the
Big Mike.
right
Big
to
Mike.
wear the jacket. I want to wear that jacket.
I know you're on TikTok, man. I know you're.
I'm on TikTok.
There's been plenty of men wearing that jacket.
Oh,
all
yeah.
over the
Gilly,
place,
Gilly
man.
and
Oh, yeah.
Wallow were fashion models when
Yeah.
it came out
Oh,
for it.
yeah.
I
That
think the
was way back,
sizing
though.
of the
2
actual
years ago.
jacket is in men's sizing.
Oh,
Yeah,
You're
the
talking-
original-
No, I'm talking way back.
Yeah,
Princess
way
Diana.
back when
Yeah.
You know,
you
she's
know
gone now.
You know that jacket when it came out, it was from a UK brand that only because there's a company out of Philly called Rare Vintage who does all like they get all vintage Eagles, Phillies. They're great. They've been around forever. But he was always looking for the original Princess Di jacket, and it was a UK only brand that only had access to like 5 different NFL teams. It was like the Bears, the Eagles. So they made this jacket only in the UK, and she only took it because she liked the color of it.
I know. So is the jacket we're seeing now that
It's
Gillian Wallow modeled? Is that jacket the same?
That's the replica.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I want that one, man.
The jacket's
That's
in
the-
men's
that's
size.
Somebody get Michael
Mitchell
B.
Ness
jacket
one.
for $600.
Princess Diana jacket. He's going to wear it no matter what.
I'm going to
All
wear it.
There you go.
Maybe I'll give you the
I'll buy your wife.
There you go.
Boom.
Are you
Done.
kidding me?
What's the size on that thing? Think it'll fit him?
I don't know. I'll check it out.
The jackets
I'm very
are in men's
excited,
sizing, though, right?
Very
They're in
sorry?
men's sizing. The new ones that came out.
Yeah, it's men's
they're
sizing.
in men's sizing.
Oh,
Even
they
though,
are.
All right.
even though Princess Diana,
Do you like them?
No longer with us.
The jacket?
I like them, but I got something even
What,
better.
what do you got? Is it here?
I got the crisscross starter Eagles jacket
Crisscross?
from the OG Jump video. Yeah,
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah, whip that thing out.
Nobody
Dodie
got that.
Al-Fayed would
Jump,
wear like a
jump.
men's large.
yeah. You know what I'm talking about. Jump. The Daddy Mac will make you.
All right.
All right, here we go.
Yes. I'm sorry.
You know, we got some good topics. Done a couple minutes on the Princess Di jacket. It's all good. Anything is in play. I have to take a minute here. It's kind of related. You know how people want to show you videos of their kids all the time?
No.
Well, I'm going to do that to you guys, but it's related to something that's happened
I send
recently.
my buddies pictures of videos of my son playing basketball like nonstop.
Yeah. They're like, okay, we get it.
Yeah.
All right.
No,
Um,
we love it.
You love it? Beautiful.
So
So
better be good, Jess.
now
This
just hear
better
me out,
be
man.
good.
Just can you let
I'm
me
just kidding.
Hear him out.
I'm just
Nobody lets me
kidding.
cook, man.
Gosh
I don't
darn it.
understand. All right. So you know that the phenomenon of the butchered Eagles chant has become very prevalent. I feel like over the past couple months, there's been a couple scenarios where people have done a less than stellar job with this. And Fink, you know what I'm talking about with Dev starting out the right. And we had the mayor famously misspell it. And you see all these videos of the kids that aren't exactly doing this. And I'm showing this because this is my daughter back when the Eagles actually won the Super Bowl. So I'm going to channel her good vibes. Let me just get this going here because I think this, honestly, I'm going to say I think this is the best Eagles cheer. It's song and cheer of all time. Okay, so indulge me here as I play this.
Tie, Eagles, tie. On the touchdown, 1, 2, 3. Tie, Eagles, tie. On the road to victory. Hit 'em high, hit 'em low, and cross the Eagles, tie. Tie, Eagles, tie. And touchdown, 1, 2, 3. E-S-T. E-R-S. Eagles.
Yeah.
Hi.
I brought it back up again.
You know what?
That makes me tear up.
And I don't blame you. And that's where Mayor Parker got the spelling. You know?
That's where. Yeah.
Oh,
I
thought-
teared up too, but it was because I saw your son in a Ben Simmons jersey.
Yeah, I was like, whoa.
Did you hear what Ben Simmons said about playing in
Yeah.
Philadelphia? I thought that was great.
Bring
I don't know if
him
you get
back.
it.
He did. He realized, hey, listen, nobody gives a shit about
Yeah.
basketball.
Can I just say, like, we went
Except
heavy
these
on the
guys.
Simmons jerseys, man. It's sad. We had actually Simmons
all
jerseys. We
did.
had a Butler jersey. Oh my gosh, it's
We're
tough
talking
out
about
there.
the Eagles. Come on.
So get it back to the
Fan
Eagles.
voodoo.
Let's
Don't
get
try
it
to
back to
Seth
the
Curry
Eagles
that,
quick.
I bought my son a Seth Curry jersey
Oh, that
for
was you.
Christmas, and by the time he got it, Seth Curry was traded.
All right,
Love
now
it.
Meech said that he went, and you can see he already has his Super Bowl jersey, and this is
Nice.
something we've touched on in the past.
Shout out,
Because
Danielle.
This 26 looks so nice.
It really does.
You guys know my philosophy on.
I think I could rush for like 40 yards in this.
Definitely, dude. Definitely. So my philosophy
5
on this is, when you achieve different levels, going out and getting the gear, like if you went out and got an NFC champion shirt, what's the point? Because if you don't go all the way, like how can you really ever wear that again? Now with the Super Bowl, it's like such a unique jersey, right? Because it has the Super Bowl insignia on it. We're going to play in the Super Bowl. So part of me is like, go get one, you got to have one. But then part of me is also like, if God forbid, we don't win the game, which we're not. We're going to win the game.
Stop
But
that.
you know, like then can you wear it again? And it's funny. Shout out to Mark, who's not here right now. He famously tells a story about how he bought, and this is actually questionable. He bought the Carson Wentz jersey from the Super Bowl, thinking that like Carson would be like a legend for however. Which actually doesn't make any sense because Carson Wentz wasn't even playing.
So playing.
Yeah, Mark, that doesn't make any sense. But you know, the question I have for you guys is: I know you bought a lot of Super Bowl 57 merch, right? When the Eagles were in, are you wearing your Super Bowl 57 merch?
All right, here I'll tell you this.
I have a comment, and I'd like to follow.
Okay,
I remember back in Super Bowl 52. I went to Dick's Sporting Goods, still had a store in Franklin Mills. They have one now, but it's a clearance store. They don't sell.
Always
real
comes
shit.
back to Franklin Mills.
So, but I went to Franklin Mills the Wednesday before the Super Bowl, and this is at the point I knew the Eagles were going to win. Like I just knew it. I had a feeling in my heart. So I went in there, and they had the 2 Nick Foles jerseys left. And I went in there, I was like, man, yeah. And I think back then they were like $110. I said, I'm not going to spend $110 on this jersey. I went back in my car and I'm sitting there like Cameron in Ferris Bueller's like, man, I know they're going to win. I know they will. I'm going to go back in. I'll go. So I went back into Franklin Mills. I bought the fucking jersey. It's my favorite jersey that I ever bought. Right. Yeah. Now, the same thing happened a couple of years ago, but I don't know if you remember when Fanatics barely produced any Super Bowl jerseys. So the Jalen Hurts jersey that I got 2 years ago is so off-centered that even if I wanted to wear it again, like it's unwearable.
What, the number?
The number looks like it's offsides. Like
looks like it should
across
be
the line.
Should be the start of a number 10 or 11 or something, right?
It's so bad. Like I don't know how I didn't notice it when I picked it up off the rack.
Okay, so it's a moot point then.
It's for me. It's like, but
not helping.
I do not regret buying the jerseys beforehand. And same with this. I will never regret this because Saquon's already put up a legendary postseason, and they're just going to win. But if they don't win, I'll never wear this again.
Okay.
unless I rip this patch off.
Yeah, then you answered it. So, Michael, I'm interested in your take on this because you're a guy who I'm guessing you don't really wear a ton of jerseys because, you know, for the game, you're not going to the games, right? Like, how do you approach this whole thing with the memorabilia?
I approach it like I have an awesome, I don't know if I've ever worn it when I'm with you. I have this awesome Phillies jacket. It looks like a high school varsity jacket with the white leather sleeves and that font.
It almost looks like a Princess Diana jacket.
Yeah, a little bit, but I need the Princess
We know
Diana.
your style.
On the Eagles side, no, that Princess Diana jacket is not leather sleeves. It's like felt sleeves or whatever. Anyway, so we're in Jacksonville, and the day before we leave, no, it was maybe the day we were leaving, they had these gorgeous jackets that had previously been like $600-700. It was $100. And I'm like, this is a steal. I mean, it's
no
my
brainer.
Experience, and I'm ready to throw it out. It's like they lost the Super Bowl. Why would I wear that thing?
It's just a reminder.
Yeah,
Right.
No.
Give it to a vintage Eagles place. They'll probably sell it for $700.
You think so?
Yeah.
Oh, you got names?
Rare vintage. I'll hook you up.
You hook me up.
Yeah.
They got it.
Now, if you know me, she's going to take a cut for that.
No. Listen.
You can have a cut. You can, otherwise,
I'm not asking for a cut.
I would put it in the fireplace.
Here's my thinking on it. I'm just going to wait because it's not that big a deal for me to have it for the game. And I'll be so much more happy going to get one with the exuberance of the win. You know, that's
just a pessimistic way of thinking.
It's not.
If you ask me,
I don't think
I see Rock over there with the Foles jersey, but it says champions, which means that jersey didn't exist. Like you don't make a jersey that says champions.
It sounds like you hate
Rock. Your response.
But I'm just saying that just shows me that you bought that after the Super Bowl, where I did. I'll spend my $150 to rock it just for the Super Bowl, knowing that if they lose, which they won't, I will never wear it again. That's how much confidence I have.
This guy's confident this week.
Down with that. No, but I'm down with that approach.
Here's my take, right? So I got this one. This is the Super Bowl 52, Nick Foles, NFL champions jersey. Yeah, they won. And I got this jersey after they won. I went your route and I was like, I need a Kelsey jersey. I got the Kelsey jersey in the last Super Bowl. I wanted it for the game. I wanted to wear it during the game. I wore it and they lost the game. And now I want a jersey. Like I want one bad right now, but I can't do it. I just can't bring myself to do it. Not because I don't think they're going to win, but I feel like it's just back to the whole thing of like, we can't have these superstitions, but I got this superstition now that I bought that jersey before the game and I wore it during the game and they lost, and I'm not doing it again. So I'm going to wait until it's done. I know I'll be able to get whatever player I want after. I know I'll be able to get whatever player I want after they win the Super Bowl, and I'll be.
No, you won't. See, that's the thing. They'll all be sold out. Like, you think you're alone in this thinking?
I'll get it.
You think they're going to be on discount after the Super Bowl? No, they'll be long gone. They don't make enough of these to where they just hang around afterwards if they win.
26 and 26, you can get them.
I have a solution. I have a solution.
Here's the thing. I don't even want the midnight green, which is weird because I know that's the jersey they're wearing. I want a black one because I don't have a black Eagles jersey. So I know I can get a black Eagles jersey with a Super Bowl patch on it after they win.
See, that's the other thing. I need the one like I need the one they wear in the game. I'm a fucking weirdo. I admit it. But I need the jersey they wore in the actual game. I'm not going to get the black jersey with the Super Bowl patch. I might as well just not get one.
Yeah, it's just like that Kelsey jersey that I have that has the Super Bowl patch on it that they lost. I can't pull that out of my closet.
Exactly.
It's worthless.
When I put on that midnight green full Super Bowl
don't get me wrong,
jersey,
I could probably actually sell that on eBay and probably get a pretty penny for it, especially right now.
Sentimentally,
but sentimentally, I was like, I can't wear this thing. It's just got bad mojo all over it. It's
got bad juju.
Yeah,
all right. Here's my solution. I'm gonna go get one, but I'm not telling anyone. I'm just gonna put it at home, off to the side. I won't wear it for the Super Bowl. And if they don't win,
who you going for?
No one will ever know.
Now at the Eagles. If you follow the Eagles Pro Shop on Instagram, they tell you what jerseys each location has. Like I went to the Cherry Hill one today. They had plenty of these. Jalen Hurts and Devontae Smith for some reason over AJ Brown, which I thought was weird. But the stadium one has like Jalen Carter, Cooper DeJean, like those
Carter. Two pro shops, stadium in Jersey.
There's three. There's one in Plymouth Meeting too.
Shh, don't tell anyone.
But the main one is obviously the actual stadium one. Yeah. They're going to get the goods. So they got like Cooper DeJean, Jalen Carter, Quinyon Mitchell, AJ Brown, Devontae, Hurts, and Barkley. The Cherry Hill one only had Barkley, Hurts, and
give us the whole itinerary.
Hang on a second.
This is unbelievable.
Yo, this is a PSA to the. Yo, I'm not the only one who's fiending for the. Like I was
do anything to thwart fanatics.
I was calling Dick's Sporting Goods 2 days ago. Like, when you getting the fucking jerseys, mother? Like, I need to know this stuff. I'm a fiend for it when it comes to this. You don't get to be in a Super Bowl every year. So when they are, I need the jersey. I need to be associated with it. I need to experience everything.
Pro Shop open during games, or is it like because it'd be a Zoom?
No, the Pro Shop is open before the games and during.
Okay. Because I've been in there before, like non-game.
But it's also open
non-game days.
It's also open like during the week till 5 or 6, and you could park in the actual Lincoln Financial Field parking lot for free just to run in there and grab it. But the Cherry Hill Pro Shop, I'm telling you, went in and out easy. No, and I don't get if you want to give me a cut,
he's got a guy. He's got a guy in there, man.
Any other tchotchkes that you have seen there that you like?
Anything
like refrigerator magnet?
I'm not into the NFC Champions tchotchkes. I've got the Super Bowl champ tchotchkes, but NFC champ tchotchkes,
like a snow globe.
Yeah. I don't care about an NFC champ. I need a Super Bowl champ.
Okay, guys, here's the deal. So
guys.
Look.
So bring it back.
We're almost an hour in.
What?
And I know that Mr. Barkann, he's got a lot going on.
Good, man.
You want to stay all night? You stay on?
All night.
Listen,
don't forget to tip your bartenders, everybody. Please.
Now, listen, I don't know if we get him. Maybe at a good enough time, he'll come back next week. But I do want to get into a little bit of the game and some of the storylines from the game. And I was thinking about something today that I wanted to get your take on, because obviously we have a decent amount of familiarity with Andy Reid, right? Many, many years here. How many years was it? Was it 12?
It was,
I think it was like 16.
I think it was 15 years. 1999.
Oh, it was 2012. Maybe that's what I'm thinking of, right? Anyway, besides the point.
Yeah.
And I was just thinking to myself, Andy Reid used to be the guy who, no matter what, at least when he was in Philadelphia, and I think for some of his time in Kansas City, despite being a great coach that players loved, he would do some really dumb shit. Like, he would screw a lot of things up. And like, you know, he was known for mismanaging the clock and making bad decisions. I remember the first couple of years in Kansas City too. There was one game, and I don't remember the exact specifics. They were up crazy on, I think, the Colts in the playoffs, and they ended up losing because he made some dumb decisions. And I'm like, will the old Andy Reid
before Peterson came here, right?
Right.
Yep. That was
when he was the O coordinator.
Yeah.
And I remember he had to answer that question when he was hired here, and he's like, he didn't have an answer.
Right. You call that game?
So what I'm asking is, can the old Andy Reid please stand up, man? Like, what's up with
please stand up?
Like, I fail to think that he has just become a guy who does not make any of those mistakes. And I think it's hard to say. I mean, what's your take on this at this point? Do you think, and everybody's talking about him as being one of the best coaches in NFL history, you know, potentially, I don't know if they're talking about the best sometimes, right? I mean, you got Belichick up there, and I can't get into like the Lombardi stuff and all that. But like, is there a chance? Like, I think it's still in there. Like, I hope it's still in there. Let him do something so stupid that reminds us all of when he used to be here in this Super Bowl. That's what I'm asking for.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. A lot of that will depend on whether or not there's pressure placed upon him at the end of the game, because pressure busts pipes, also makes diamonds. If you're Patrick Mahomes, as we've seen, but if you're Andy Reid, not more often than not, but many times he succumbs to the pressure of the moment. Remember when he punted the ball away instead of going for it in fourth down? I forget who they were playing, and he punted the ball. I think it was a playoff game, and he punted the ball as opposed to going for it on fourth down because he was playing he didn't have enough timeouts, and he was playing that the defense was going to get the ball back, and they still have time to score a touchdown to tie or win the game, and they didn't do it. So I think the guy is an unbelievable innovator when it's not pressure time. When it's pressure time, it's a different deal. And I think if you can get him in that mode, then you got a shot at him making a mistake. But he's a great coach. You can't deny it. The whole thing with Jalen Hurts and Nick Sirianni about how do they do it? Are they really that good? You know, everybody has that little doubt about them, or not everybody, but and the fact is the W's matter, and they got them, and so does Andy Reid.
Did you see that video of
Nick
Sirianni telling the Eagles to visualize? Man, if you didn't get the goosebumps and the chills during that video, I don't think you're living. I don't think you're an Eagles fan.
Slay's like, I guess I'll do this. I'm not closing my eyes. I'm just going to stand here.
He couldn't think of one.
Some guys are more bought into that than others, probably. Well, I mean,
what do you think?
I'm concerned because it just seems like the combination of Andy and Pat Mahomes
and Spags
makes them kind of bulletproof. Well, and I think
you mean the bundle Rooski.
Spags has
Rooski-roo.
Probably more to do with it.
I think, Tom, that's a really good point. I mean, their defense has not gotten enough credit. They've put together a really good defense in the way they blitz and all that. You know,
Philly guy,
that's a really tough part.
Spagnuolo.
Okay,
that's more so than Reid. It's Spagnuolo.
One of the other big things about this game, obviously, is going to be to stop. That is not actually Michael Smirkanish. PJ, get out of the chat, dude. Stop screwing around. I'm going to strangle you, bro.
Idiot.
Smirkanish.
No.
We should get Smirkanish canceled because of PJ.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Hey, PJ, we're going to call Smirkanish. You think I can't get Smirkanish on the phone in about a half an hour?
Hey, tell him, did you really say these things?
Yeah, you're going to be in big trouble, buddy. You better cut that shit out. Anyway, okay, so we know another big part of this game is going to be Travis Kelce. We've seen what he's done in the playoffs, despite not even really having a great season.
19 yards last game.
He didn't done much. He had a nice first game. His second game,
fair enough. We know that we have to stop him. And I was thinking about this, and I don't actually know the answer to this, and you guys can help me out.
Oh, I know the answer.
Okay, I'm sure you know the answer.
Quiz me.
Are we going to get I don't think they would take Quignon, right, and put him on him. Quignon's probably going to have to work.
That makes no sense.
Just give me a second.
Give him time.
Look, he's enough of a threat. Like, anything's on the table, but I expect he's going to get a lot of Coop, right? Like we're going to have a lot of Cooper covering him.
Doubt it.
You don't think so? What are they going to do?
I think.
Go ahead, dude.
Zach
Go ahead.
Bond.
Zach Bond, maybe. Actually, that's not a good matchup.
The safety's coming
the safety's coming down. You don't put your corner. You don't put your cover corners on the tight end, bro. It doesn't match up.
Okay,
well.
You don't think Cooper's going to be covering him at all?
I don't know. Maybe in a crossing route, he might pick him up when he cross and they switch, man.
Yeah.
But I don't think
could
that
happen.
happens. Yeah.
Okay. Because
Or if they line him up out wide, which they do occasionally.
Okay.
Because he might. I mean, we don't have the best of safeties. I mean, you might see some CJ on him. I don't know, but that's a tough cover for this game. He might get his yards, but I'm not worried about the receivers at all.
Not worried about
Not
that
worried about the running
podcaster.
backs at all.
Well, that was my
And
point.
he's a
That
little
was
bit
my point
washed at this point.
because
Like-
we're not worried about the receivers as much. My point was, would they think about rolling somebody like him over to Kelsey? Because obviously, I don't think Kelsey.
Well, the reason I'm not worried about the receivers is because our cover cornerbacks are so damn good.
And
Right.
because
Yeah,
he's not going to have time to sit back there all day because he's going to have Jalen Carter in his.
Not going to be able to pick on Bradbury this year, Mahomes.
My overall point was, if you look at last time we played them, right, there was those couple plays where they ran those like misdirection, pre-snap motions where we got caught like so off guard.
If they aren't ready for those this year, dude, I'll honestly off myself before the game's over.
I'll tell you what's going to be really key is the
Sorry,
third
kid.
down plays. And I know that's obvious, but I think the Eagles are in a better position to stop those. And obviously 2 years ago, the 3rd and 8, where what's his name got called for the PI, which I thought
Bradbury.
was a disgrace.
You watch it nowadays; it's even worse now than
Yeah,
it was.
it's even worse now.
Yeah,
I mean, by the letter of the rule,
Right.
wasn't it?
Not even
it
close.
never should have been called. But point being, the third down, that's where the pressure comes in.
Mhm.
And you got to make a play. You have to make a play on third down.
And where I'm trying to get to is saying that in those situations, that because we have these young, fast players, that we're less likely to be susceptible to a lot of the things they do. Because everyone talks about how Andy Reid and their coaches really scheme their guys open. And you could see that in the last Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to this thinking, all right, well, we have Quignon, we have Cooper, right? We have guys that can stick with people. And that gives me more reason to think in those types of situations, we'll be able to stop them. That's all I was saying.
you look on defense last year. I mean, last time we played them in the Super Bowl, I think the only guy in his 20s was Hassan Reddick. Now every single one of them is like under 25. I mean, they're monsters now.
And
They're
They are.
they're
Fangio's
quick.
scheme is better too.
I mean, it's a totally different look. They can't scheme guys open as well as they can because our cover corners are on point there. Man, I love this matchup. I really do. The fact that Kansas City played their best game of the year last year and has scored their highest total amount, 32 points. And I think the Eagles could get to that in the beginning of the third quarter. I mean, I don't think that they have enough to hang with the Eagles on
But, Mitch,
offense or defense.
I got to play a little devil's advocate because
You could play a lot. I mean,
listen,
it's Pat Mahomes.
okay,
I get
but just
it.
hear me out. It's great they scored 8 touchdowns last week, but this is a team for most of the season that started really slow,
Correct.
that struggled to score a lot of points, right? We didn't score points in the first quarter for how many games? Like, I'm not saying
Well,
that's
I
any
was
reason.
worried about that last week.
I hear you, but I'm just giving you a little bit of caution saying, well, if the Chiefs score 32, we're going to score that in the first half. It's not a given. So I'm not as confident as you are that we're just going to put up points at will against them. I think it's going to be a tough game no matter what.
I think it's
But
going to be
I'm
epic.
quite confident.
Epic. I
Epic?
think it's
You're
epic
hyped.
game.
Let's
No,
go.
really. I think it's going to be an epic
It's
game.
going to be a high score.
I think it's going to be a high score. I do.
Really?
Because of Mahomes. They got what's his name, Trent McDuffie. This the wide receiver for them. On the other side, they got Chris Jones, who's only a three straight first team All Pros and 6
Yeah,
All
yeah.
Pros
He's
nasty.
total. This
He's a
guy's
beast.
Yeah.
Carl Loftus. I mean, they've got some talent. And,
Yeah.
you know, it's easy to get
And
hyped about.
Spagnuolo brings that blitz, man. Like,
Spagnola's
you don't even know where it's coming
what
from.
he did
Yep.
to Josh Allen on that last
that
play.
fourth
The
down
receiver
play?
should have caught the
Oh.
ball, but
He totally should.
I think it's going to be a low scoring game, to be honest. I think
You
there's
do?
I think there's just 2 really good defenses playing against each other and playing against really. I don't think the Chiefs' offense is all that great. Eagles' offense is fantastic, but I think when you put 2 good defenses against each other, I think the game is not going to be as exciting as
I just think the Chiefs have not seen what they're going to get
Right.
from this Eagles offensive line and Saquon coming
I
behind.
agree.
him.
Yeah,
I don't think
I
they're
would
gonna
say
be-
the game goes either a really low scoring tight game or a straight up Eagles blowout.
Sirianni
that
let
would be
let
awesome.
Hurts
Yeah.
out of the straitjacket now. They're,
Yeah.
they're about to find out.
Oh, you know who's going to cover Travis Kelce is Big Ed.
Big
I mean,
Dom.
Big Reed. My bad. Big Reed.
Big Dom.
Big Reed's coming
Strong
down.
safety.
The other half of
Reed
the exciting
Blankenship,
weights.
right.
Yeah.
The other
Reed
one.
Blankenship.
Safety.
Yeah, the
Zach
other
Ball.
white
the
guy.
other exciting white.
Yeah.
Yes.
We haven't heard much out of him lately anyway. So like he needs
He's locked in. That's
he's-
why.
he's coming.
Did you see LeBron last night?
Oh yeah.
LeBron hits up
Yeah.
AJ Brown and
Yeah.
Jahan Dotson and
the thing that sucks
and it leaves
Yo,
Reed
in
Blankenship
LeBron's
and
defense,
Cooper DeJean by
they
the-
look like the little like their police athletic league brothers
Yeah.
to AJ
And
Brown.
and
You
then
know?
Cooper DeJean's like, oh,
Like,
he didn't know me.
Cooper pulled his
Here's a
hand out
little
of his
kid from
hoodie,
a
too.
special
Cooper was
needs
like,
home we're bringing around.
this is my moment. I
I'm
felt
sure.
so
I'm
bad
sure
for him.
LeBron probably didn't even know who the hell they were. He's probably like, "Who the hell are these dudes sitting with you with you guys?"
I would have been like, bro, Cooper DeJean, man.
Yeah, exactly. That's how you.
I'm a rookie corner.
Oh, he'd have been like, "Oh shit, the exciting whites! I heard about y'all
The
boys.
exciting white.
I heard about y'all
Oh,
boys."
That would have been cool if Cooper DeSheen went up to Bronny and been like, "Yo, nice to meet you, man. I never heard of your dad. You're the best."
Ronnie, don't get me started.
Then I
Bronny.
saw like Skip Bayless tweeted today, like, LeBron, you should really know who Cooper DeJean is. He's a baller. And I was like, what are we doing here? This is terrible.
Who said this?
Skip Bayless.
Same guy who tried to pay $1.5 million to bang a chick in his office.
Isn't that dude a Cowboys fan?
Yeah.
Yeah,
He wrote for the Dallas Morning News.
He's a bum.
Yeah. What
Yep,
are you
he's
gonna
a
do?
bum.
He's a bum.
Kid.
And every other week he fakes throwing a Cowboys jersey in his trash can on
His
Twitter.
poor wife
Yeah, he's
has
a-
it recorded.
yeah.
He's a bum.
All right. Well, look, this has been awesome.
No!
Has it been awesome?
I think so. I had a
Yes,
good
sir.
time. Michael, you're the man. We love
Yes,
you.
you're the
Appreciate
man.
you.
Love you all, Meech.
If we make it to the Super Bowl again next year, you got to come back and join us.
Well,
You know what I
next
mean?
year? Are you
Yeah.
freaking kidding me? I'm back next week. for
All right.
God's
You
sake.
heard it here.
I'm bringing Shane
Nah, Mike.
Gillis, and we're good.
Mike,
There you go.
After your
Give it
after
up
your
for
post
Barkann,
game,
everybody. He's a
thank
friggin'
you.
man.
Remember, everybody. Thank you.
Mike. After the
Thank you.
post game of the Super Bowl, just come roll up here. We're gonna be here hanging out.
Are you doing a show? Are you going to do a pod?
No, we're not doing a podcast. We'll
We
wait
might
for
do
you.
an emergency drunk
You're gonna have-
pod
you're gonna have
after
to
they
do an
win.
emergency drunk pod.
Now we'll wait for you, and we're gonna go march down Broad Street,
Let's
man.
do it.
You know what I mean?
Come
I'll put
join
you
us.
up on the pole.
Okay.
You know what I mean? You climb up
Well,
there. You do
hey,
all that.
trying to keep me off
Oh.
the pole, man. Keep me, that's it.
It's not, man.
Keep
Can
your
we-
dog off the
Keep your
pole.
dog off the pole.
Can we just stay off the poles? Can we stay off the poles?
Where are you on did they grease the poles or no?
I
No, I
don't
don't think they did.
No?
No.
How about the Germans? Did they grease the Germans?
All right.
Or the French?
All right.
You heard it here.
Hello.
Michael's predicting a high-scoring game
High
with an
scoring
Eagles
affair. I don't have
win.
a score yet, but it'll come to me.
Let's
Yeah.
go. Do you want to play your? All right. In honor of the Eagles,
Bring them in.
you know, come on.
Look who
Wherever.
it is.
Right up there.
Durag.
Or-
DJ Durag. All right.
Yo, DJ Durag had an
Hey, you gotta
MVP
get a mic.
performance
You gotta
in the
get a mic.
pregame.
You gotta get a mic.
Oh, yeah, here we go.
Here, go around the side.
All right, I'm going to need some help from all my crew here.
All right, you
Here
got
we
it.
go. Fly.
Eagles fly on the road to victory.
Fly, Eagles, fly.
Score a touchdown, 1, 2, 3. Hit 'em low, hit 'em high, and watch our Eagles fly. Fly, Eagles fly on the road to victory. E-A-G-L-E-S, Eagles!
Shout out to ukuleles.